Well, today's the day. We're going to have a functional room by the end of the day. Subwoofers going in, a couple of final cleanup items. There'll still be more to do, but we will have a functional theater today. I have here two 1723 2S subwoofers. Alright, 92 pounds. I can deadlift a good bit over 300 at the gym, but that's in a nice easy bar. Let's see if I can get this from here to the theater without breaking my back. So this was interesting. We were going to open the second one. As you can see, we've got the box right side up. It even says this way up, but we opened it and this is the bottom. It got packed upside down. So we're gonna have to re-tape up this bottom, the top, flip it over and open. There's no accessories, everything else is on the other side. Ready? Alright, so we carried both of these guys in here and have them set kind of up in front of the screen where they're going to go. Again, right on the edge of the carpet there. These have a really nice fit in here, just under the frame of the screen. Basically perfect height for what I was looking for. There's the other one, other edge of the carpet. Now I am going to cover up these white trims, I've decided. I'm going to get a little bit of, we have some extra velvet fabric, just make a couple of little pieces, a couple inches high, 1.5 feet or so wide, affix them to the wall behind the regular curtain, and that'll see that piece of white go away. I don't mind the white crown trim, and I don't mind the little white trim peeking out other places around the room and so on, but on that front wall, I really just want that front wall to be clean. Super clean. There's our full view of the screen area with the subs. We got them plugged in. This is really good positioning, actually. There's plugs. There's literally electrical outlets just about right behind where both of the subwoofers are. So I'm still waiting on those Amazon XLR cables. Come on, Amazon. It said 5:15 p.m. delivery, and it's like 5:02 or whatever right now. So as soon as those drop, we can get these connected and then run a full arc cal. Alright, so continuing to do full project cleanup here. I got the holes in the storage room that need to be capped off. I don't want them open. Drywall dust will continue to fall out of them, and I don't need perpetual access to those. Those are the holes we made, of course, for the top left and right speaker pair cables to come through, running down with the rest of the wire behind the rack there. And we have my son expertly. What'd you do?
I made 6-inch circles.
How'd you make them?
With the compass.
Yeah. Made the circle and cut it out?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you make them out of?
Paper.
Okay. Any paper?
Instruction paper.
Instruction paper. What are we going to do with them?
Put them up there.
Yeah, we'll tape them up around those openings. Maybe cut a little hole in them or a slit to have the speaker wire come through. I did that over in the corner as well. It's a just cheap and easy way to cover up some holes in the storage room. So I'll get those set up there, and this will be clean and done. I can finish vacuuming one more time, put the rest of the stuff up on the shelf, and we'll be complete in the storage space. All right, there we are. Kind of cheesy, blue masking tape. It's fine. I don't need white masking tape. It's the storage room, but at least now that'll control the dust. The wire is nice and locked in there. At least the circle's white. Let's finish getting the storage room put back together and move on to the next piece. All right, so Seymour didn't send the magnets that I would expect, that I expected them to send, or I asked for, which I was thinking we would screw in to the bottom board here under the base of the frame. So I bought some magnets on Amazon and they didn't work, as I think I might have mentioned before. I found that the underside of the screen was magnetized, but not the back side, which wouldn't pull it close. So we have some of this Faber-Castell Tackett putty. Museum putty, I guess, is another name for it. So I'm just going to take some of this stuff and kind of put it along the bottom of the screen, maybe 5 pieces or so, one towards each end, because you can see how it's not holding flush to the wood, and that will hopefully hold the screen in position. Yep, so now we've got, if I put a little pressure on there now, we're stuck on. Hopefully these things aren't cement and I used the wrong type of thing. So if I ever need to pull it off, I gotta be able to unstick it. These are real nice. I'm kind of tempted to leave them at the front of the room. I hope I can EQ them and they have a nice EQ curve at the front, because I'm big on symmetry. So with the lights on and seeing the subwoofers, having 2 of them in the front balanced, I think makes a lot of sense. In the long run, if I wanted to spend the money, there would be opportunity to put one back here on the back wall and another one over there. And that would give me my four subwoofer positions, opposing positions, but I'm not going to be spending that kind of money right now. And honestly, I think these are going to probably do the job. I don't really need 4. 4 would be more of an academic pursuit or fun just for tinkering in the channel. But that's another few grand to spend, and it's not going to happen right now. Plus, to really do it easily, I wouldn't be able to use the AVM 70 as well, perhaps. I would need the AVM 90, that's even more money, to have ARC EQ 4 discrete subs. If I were to do 4 with the AVM 70, then I would daisy chain put one subwoofer output into one of these and then chain it over to the other one and then run those together as sub 1 and then have the 2 in the back chained as subwoofer 2. But that's academic conjecture, and it's getting ahead of myself. But I'm really liking the look of these things. Nice Arendal logo on the front. It's kind of matches the Focal logos that are on the 1000 in walls. 3-dimensional, a little bit shiny, not obtrusive. I won't mind it being up front there. So yeah, I'm really liking the looks of these. Well, circumstances didn't allow for completion, fully functional room, and a family movie tonight. Amazon saw fit to deliver the cables, XLR cables, at the very last time of the delivery window, and kids were off to bed and so on, given it's a Sunday night. But I'm back. I'm going to try to wire both subs. I know I can get to the closest one, but until I get the 15-foot cable, I might not be able to get to the farthest one. Still, I want to rig this up. I want to run a full arc, get it all set up, and let these Arendal 2S's rumble a little bit. 2 of the 3 cables that I ordered came in. I got a 6-foot World's Best Mogami XLR with Nutric connectors, a 10-foot and a 15-foot, assuming I probably could get the 6-foot cable to the left sub, and it might be questionable whether I needed the 10 or the 15 to get to the right sub. Well, they delivered the 6 and the 10, and I need the 15. The 15's coming Thursday. So in the interest of going ahead and actually using what I have and getting everything functional, I just used the 10. That's the farthest over I can get the right subwoofer with the 10-foot cable. Definitely need the 15 to shift it over that other 3 feet or so. But in any case, all the speakers are running. Both of the subs are running. I went back to my Anthem config, reset up all of the speakers, the full 7.2.4 connection, and I just went ahead and ran a full arc cal, 5 positions, center, sweet spot, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and then behind, a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right, per their placement guidelines. So that one will be very temporary, and I'll end up probably running the full arc config a bunch of times, maybe in the coming weeks, because for the next steps, of course, I still need to paint the ceiling treatments. Now that I know where I'll be able to put them, kind of how they'll fit up there, I did get my water-based spray paint from Home Depot. 3 cans came in the mail the other day. So that'll be the next step, basically painting those treatments and getting them stuck to the ceiling. That'll, of course, will require a recalibration. I'll have to check my order. Hopefully soon we will be able to get the 2x2 panels up on the wall, clean up that back space there, cover up those holes. That'll look nice and add a little bit more to the room. Of course, in a couple more days I'll have the longer cable that I need for this right subwoofer, get that moved over, get everything measured out, get them set where they need to be, hopefully not have to move them around too much more, because they're kind of 92-pound monsters. I am really liking the look of these subs. I think they really fit the room quite well. They're probably on the edge of not being too big, but I don't know. I don't think I would want anything much larger, quite honestly. As it is, these subs fit nicely under the screen. They're below the frame. They're not in the image, first of all, but they're also below the frame, so they're not crowding the screen space either. I haven't sat down lights off to watch anything yet. It's getting late here on a Sunday night, working tomorrow and so on, but I'm going to throw something up, watch a little bit of something at least, start to get a first experience in here anyway. But of course, moving that sub over will also require a recalibration too. Actually, ARC showed a pretty big null in the mid bass or so out of the right subwoofer that it wasn't showing on the left. That might be placement, but I'll end up experimenting with that as well. I like the duality, the parallelism of having the 2 subwoofers up front. Something else that I might try, though, if I really want to try to experiment with the bass response, will be to maybe leave one up there and then move the other back here, so I could have a front on the left side and a rear on the right side, kind of opposing quarter points. I don't think I'm going to do the front mid and the back mid, but I don't know. I could split these panels still. I think the panels maybe look and probably work better next to each other without a split. I think it might look silly to have them split apart too far and then have this high panel, this low subwoofer, and this high panel. I don't know. We'll see about that. But if I can get good bass response with both of the subwoofers up front, that's going to be my preference from a presentation, visual perspective, and so on. There is some shininess, so obviously the screen is on here just at the Apple TV menu. There is some shininess on the top of these. I could conceivably get some black velvet and cut it just to lay smoothly on the top, but they're not glossy. They're not really reflecting, but you can tell, yeah, there is some light on the screen hitting those. The camera is picking it up more pronounced than it actually is, but you can see there's a little bit of color in the room. You can see there's a little bit of color and there's some light coming off. It's a little more visible too, given that right subwoofer is of course sitting a couple of feet more towards the center of the screen than it would normally be. So once that gets moved over, it'll be a little more out of the field of view and so on. But worst case scenario, with a nice flat top, some velvet material, lay it on top, make it black. That might be something I try. Probably costs all of $10 at Joann Fabrics to grab some material or try some of the velvet material I already have and see whether it looks kind of corny or whether it looks okay and it takes any reflectivity off the top of that subwoofer. But these things, they're just very, very nice. I haven't heard them yet, but looking at them, feeling them, texture, build quality, heft. I like the app. I fired up the app to get access to them, adjust some of the settings and so on. I am running them, of course, XLR, and I'm running them right now on auto sensing. I didn't use any of the parametric EQ. That would be something to get into later if I pick up a UMIC and play more with REW. For now, I kind of want to take the simpler path and just use Anthem Arc and let it do its thing. I'm not going to worry too much about doing more than Anthem Arc until I have the room, again, much more done with all of those other panels, everything in the right position, and so on. And I'll use it as it is. I'll recal it as I make the little tweaks and have fun with it that way. We're closer and closer and closer. I did post some pictures around to various social media. The Focal group on Facebook is a really good group. I have fun in there. I love seeing everybody's Focal speakers and so on. And it's interesting seeing the difference of opinion. Some people saying, hey, the white, leaving these speakers white, it actually looks pretty nice. It's a little extra contrast in the room with the white trim left. We got the white crown up there. We got the white trim around the door. The lower baseboard trim is largely hidden, but it adds a little something, and I think I like it. To the other side of the opinion, which is, well, you leave it white, it looks unfinished. I think somebody had commented. Yeah, I can see that too. There was an interesting suggestion that if you want to have them stand out a little bit from the panels, but don't necessarily want the starkness of the white, paint them gray. Go for a lighter gray. I kind of think I like the idea of them not being pure black and people being able to walk in the room and seeing different things, maybe folks that aren't full home theater aficionados or whatnot, and understand the difference between something that's a panel and something that's a speaker by like the color coding of the room. But in any case, painting these panels is probably like remaining job, end of the line compared to the other things. I will be painting the ceiling treatments right away, trying to get the other panels up on the back wall, getting the cable, moving the subwoofer over. All of those other elements rank so much higher, I think, than painting the white. And once I paint the white, I'm not going back to white, so I need to be pretty committed to the idea that I don't want them white before painting them. And so the rest of the family hasn't come in here too much yet. I want to get my wife's opinion. I like white and black as a combination, and I don't know. I think it's growing on me. The more it stays white, the more I like it. I don't think, too, it's affecting light levels or brightness or anything, color or contrast on the projection screen. These aren't anywhere near your field of view when we're sitting on the couch here looking forward at the screen. We'll see on that. I guess my light switches are also white. So with the little bit of a couple of white touches in the space, I like the fact that the Focal logos are that little glossy silver. The Arendal logos also have that kind of silver look to them. We got silver plates for the lighting, and the other switch over there, which we don't use. It used to control ceiling fan. When this was a gym, we actually had a ceiling fan hanging on that center spot there that's capped off. I took the ceiling fan out when I did the room originally. I think that's just about it for tonight. I want to sit down here and put something, even just a television show, something up here on the screen. Maybe something in scope as well. Thanks so much for watching. Absolutely, please like and subscribe. Look down below in the description for some ways to support the channel. And we're winding down. Home Theater 2.0 is winding down. Still got to make a big decision about these seats too. But in any case, the bulk of the work, I think, is done. Thanks so much for watching.